Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we got a co-host here, Dr. Michael Mantell. How you doing today,
I'm
sir?
doing great. How are you doing?
Man, I am excited about the show. I'm excited about this
I know.
guest. We all are going to learn a whole lot of stuff, and I tell you, um, having guests as knowledgeable as Anita that's going to talk about a lot of different type of things, especially that involve the women. It's going to bring a lot of advice, and it's going to educate our audience so that they would get a better understanding.
This is such an important topic because particularly minority groups who don't have access to holistic health care. And Amita Sharma is going to be talking about this topic through her program of Nourish Doc. And we're going to be learning a lot about that. And so, Amita, thank you for being with us. And I guess we're going to turn it over to our wonderful producer.
Well, we're going to turn it over to her in about 2 minutes when we lock everybody.
I got
when
it.
we lock everybody.
Okay.
But how you doing? How you doing today, Michelle?
I'm doing great. Can't wait for you to come home. Me and Bella miss you. She's looking all sad. But you know what? This topic today, I was saying before the show, as a woman and in a certain age range, this is definitely a very important topic, especially a minority woman as myself. I am so interested in what Amita has to say. And I'm just really excited to have her on the show.
I'm excited. I tell you, wherever you're watching us at, whether you're watching us on E360 television, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, over 50, 65 other live platforms, welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to whichever platform that you're on, and I'll tell you. Just ask any question that you might have. We'll get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. But I tell you, we're going to get the radio.
Yeah, it's time to lock it in. We're locking in right now.
Answer San Diego 1170 and FM 96.1 proudly present Bill Holland of the Holland Group Incorporated. Bill's iconic voice has graced San Diego's radio airwaves for over 50 years on leading stations like KPRZ, AM and FM. Whether it's a bullish market or bearish, Bill Holland is the one to give it to you straight. Join Bill's market reports on The Answer San Diego, weekdays beginning at 7 a.m. Invest early, invest often, invest smart. Invest with the Holland Group at bethebull.com.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and the co-host is Dr. Michael Mantell.
It's always great to be here and to be co-hosting 360 Degree Health with you, of course.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. I'm excited about the show today, and I'm excited about this guest, and and also I'm excited about the executive producer, who makes everything happen.
If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here.
How you doing today, Dr. Michelle Cooley?
I am great. I am doing great. I'm just so, like I said, I'm just I'm raring to go to discuss this very, very important topic with this amazing guest today. And I guess let's get to it.
Well, for as you see that Dr. Mike and I are in studio in our beautiful San Diego studios. Michelle is back in Dallas, and I will be back there tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to jumping on that plane early in the morning. But we got somebody else. We got the producer here, which is Todd. How you doing today, Todd?
I'm always good, James. I'm excited. I'm ready to learn about nutrition. I don't know if we have bags of popcorn today. We better have no salt, no butter.
What happens to donuts for today? Show us some donuts down.
We're probably not gonna have popcorn today. not today, but because we got first of all, Dr. Mike is here, and he obviously popcorn. But
I,
no, but I'm ready to get this show started. Michelle, can you do the honors? The title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest.
Oh, most definitely. Well, audience, today is 360-degree Health Day, and the topic is, why is there a health equity gap for middle-aged women? And Dr. James J.C. Cooley and our co-host, Dr. Michael Mantell, they're going to have a conversation with Amita Sharma. Amita is the co-founder of Nourish Doc, which is a global wellness holistic platform for women. She's going to discuss issues of mid-aged women at workplace, perimenopause awareness at workplace, menopause at the workplace and its impact, and why are Black and Latino women behind for care. So Amita Sharma, again, she has been inspired by her perimenopausal journey and working in the high-tech world. She felt unsupported and a need to bring the taboo topic of perimenopause to the workplace for an open discussion. She's over 20 plus years experience working in high-tech industry. Prior to Nourish Doc, she's worked as a lead product manager for companies like Western Union, Hewlett-Packard, Realtor, Hughes, and Walmart. She has combined her passion for holistic wellness with digital technology to bring awareness as well as make wellness education affordable. She's on a mission to bring affordable, holistic wellness to every woman in the world who is going through a journey of PMS, peri, and post-menopause. And we're going to have her talk about Nourish Doc, and we are happy to have her on the show. Please welcome, audience, Amita Sharma to the stage.
hey,
Welcome to the show, Amita.
hi there, Amita.
Hi, thank you so much. And I'm super excited that you invited me to talk about this topic, which has been hush hush, years and years and years. So super excited that to get this platform.
It's a topic that men need to understand. I'm talking about guys and girls need to understand the challenges of this, and we need to put our brains together and come up with solutions to help resolve some of the problems. So, Amita, could you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you, where you grew up, why you so passionate about the things that you do?
I grew up, I was born in India. I grew up in India so I was in my early 20s. I came here to study at Berkeley, and believe it or not, I studied architecture. So I wanted to be an architect, a creative person trying to create different things. So fast forward, my love for holistic wellness started many, many years back when I was struggling with some liver issues. And that actually, in my perimenopause journey, which I shared with so openly, I had a lot of embarrassing moments. I was working with high-tech industry. So to really wanted to bring this in an open discussion, and like millions of women, I felt ashamed. I was like, oh my God, who do I go talk to? All those feelings, right, that we're talking about. So that's kind of a little bit my journey on there was a roller coaster ride of all kind of emotional feelings that I went through. And I said, why is nobody talking about it? We are so scared to talk about this. And especially me also being a minority woman, all those things. And I found a gap, a huge gap, which I said, okay, this is something that I think I need to do something. Someone needs to do something. And I didn't see that many minority women talking about this at all. So that was I would say, okay, this is a calling from God or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get started on this.
I'm curious about this. We know that mental health and mental disorders, psychological difficulties, have a stigma. Do you believe that menopause or perimenopause has that same kind of stigma attached to it?
So there is stigma, but I think what the problem is that a lot of even women don't understand the word perimenopause. I did not. I'll tell you that. Menopause, I think we understand menopause. We understand puberty, we understand fertility, we understand menopause. But a lot of us, an average American, an average person, I should say that, does not understand the word perimenopause. So it's the ignorance, right? The ignorance of this word, perimenopause, catches a lot of women by surprise. And then menopause, you're right, has a stigma attached to it. It's the end of fertility. It's the end of ovulation. It's the end of menstruation. The women, and then also at that time, during that time, a lot of women body changes. So there's a lot of things that are happening to a woman's body, and they don't want to talk about. I mean, most of the people don't want to talk about it.
And so you started Nourish Doc. Tell us about Nourish Doc and how that came to you, and what your goal is with this program.
So it came to me with my personal journey of perimenopause. So the thing is, like we just talked about, we know menopause, but the perimenopause can start 10 years before. So you could be a 40-year-old woman. That's what happened to me, or even in late 30s, as early as 35. So I started getting these embarrassing moments, and I went to a doctor, and then I'm getting medication. Like most of us have that experience of going to a doc prescribes your medication, you're on medication. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be on medication for so many years of my life. I want to find something else. And that's where my journey started on really holistic therapies, researching into what kind of food as medicine, movement as medicine, Ayurveda, yoga, breath work, all those things, all of the above. And that's when I thought that if I go and talk to a doctor, it costs me a couple of $1,000. Instead of that, how can I make it affordable? So this whole idea started with holistic wellness. That's number one. The ignorance, we talked a little bit about that. And also the affordability. If you go talk to a doc, which is not covered by insurance, you're going to end up spending at least $2,000 to $3,000. And women are still not getting the free answers until they shell out so much money. How can you give women information that is credible and it's with evidence? And that's when this whole idea germinated of creating something, a platform that's affordable, and that's Nourish Doc.
Well, what you talk about Nourish Doc, how do holistic medicine integrates with that?
So it's all holistic and integrative. Holistic, when we use the word holistic, it's mind and body connection. Our body is not different from our mind. We know that. There's so much research that already has been written. It's just that you take a medication, you don't fix your mental area, it's not going to work. So holistic is really taking care of not only your physical health, but your mental health, your spiritual health, your social health. And that's what Nourish Doc is trying to teach women, either in perimenopause or postmenopause, to understanding of what is coming to them, how they can be prepared. That's number one, preparation. And then the second thing is, what is it that you could do in terms of your lifestyle modifications? When I use the lifestyle modifications, fixing your diet, fixing your exercise, all the things that we can do.
Amita, hold that thought. We're going to pick that up. We got to take a station break. Okay. And whichever platform that you are watching us on, all you have to do is go to the comments, ask some questions that you might have. Or you can pick up the phone, dial 1-888-344-1170. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many Black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many Black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living.
This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, the true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural Deep South town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, I tell you. We got another guest on join us today that's going to talk about this, and we talking Dr. Ballin. There, how you doing today?
Oh, I am doing great, Dr. JC, and hey,
there,
Dr. Mantell,
How you doing?
Dr. Michelle, and a hello to your guests too.
Amita. Yeah. So I tell you, we are talking about a topic I think is important. I'm glad that we got a couple of more women on this to talk about this important topic, and we're gonna turn it over to Michelle. I think she had a couple of questions.
Yes, thank you, James. Hi, Amita. First of all, this is an amazing topic, and we're just so happy to have you here. Besides the care maybe not afforded to women who are going through different stages of the change of life, how important is it to get, let's say, whether it's a spouse, a boyfriend, or so-and-so involved to kind of understand the mental, I guess, I wouldn't say stress, but the mental and the hormonal changes that women are going through?
It's very important, right? The relationships. All the we have an MD here. I'm sure she'll have a lot of feedback. But and I'm not a medical doctor. But hormonal fluctuations that are going through a woman's body impacts the mental health as well as the physical health. There's a lot of research that talks about it. And if you and there are so many symptoms that a woman can go through, including mood swings or some kind of memory, brain fog, all those things. Even a little bit of loss of libido. All these things are relationship specific in the sense with your spouse or a partner or whoever. So if your partner or spouse does not understand what you're going through, there is going to be an impact on your relationships. And the data in UK talks about 60% of the divorces that are happening to women in menopausal years.
Wow. Wow, that's an amazing.
I think there's some other reasons for that.
Yes, of course.
Besides the mood swings that are going on, but that might be a topic for another show.
Yes. But this is like what I'm saying is open communication.
Yes.
What if something is going in my body and I'm not my 100%, whether I'm not sleeping right at night or I'm having hot flashes or having a little bit of a brain fog here, or I'm not really feeling, and my partner does not understand what I'm feeling, I am going to have an issue with the relationship, is what I'm trying to say. So the communication, the openness. And it's funny that so many guys have interviewed me in the last 1 week. They said so educate us,
Well, what's interesting is that women, when it depends on each woman. Every woman is different, but when they're experiencing those symptoms, some women have extremely hot flashes. Some people are just extremely hot. And, whether you're at home and at the workplace, there may be lack of understanding, or it can affect a woman's mental health in the sense that people make jokes, or she's going through the change, she's moody and stuff like that. Now that can be counterproductive to how a woman is experiencing and accepting this life change. What are your thoughts on that, especially, from a holistic wellness perspective?
Yeah, I went through that. Like I said earlier, I did not even know the word perimenopause. I didn't even understand what it means. And suddenly I'm sitting, in a meeting, and I started sweating. And I really, honestly, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was barely 40 years old, and I'm like sweating. And I was going through perimenopause and hot flashes, or maybe it was a bit aggravated at that time. So, and then everybody, you don't know how to react. You don't know what to do, at that time. And like I said, it's ignorance is really
Yeah.
can make a huge problem.
So you know what, Amita, I just actually wanted to comment on the fact that I
Yes.
think really the more fundamental point that you are really raising is, one, a lot of women themselves don't know what the symptoms of perimenopause are and menopause. And if you don't know what it is you're experiencing, it's a couple things. One, you can't give it language if you don't know what it is.
Right.
Or two, you can't give it context and a framework to understand what you're experiencing when you don't know what it is. And then how are you going to communicate that experience to someone when you don't know what it is, you lack the language? But then the next thing is that how do you address it in terms of what do I need to do differently to help ease myself through this, or help alleviate these symptoms, in a healthy way, when you lack that knowledge and understanding. So simply, one of the things, and I remember one of the directors of nursing that I worked with, she, was I think probably in her 60s, and she was complaining about having problems sleeping. And I said to her, well, have you tried, she talking about different things she tried, have you tried magnesium? So she said no. And so I said, well, take magnesium because it's going to boost your serotonin. It's going to help with your sleep, and any kind of irritability, anxiety, those kinds of things. And so I said, and it works very quickly. And so when she, the next week I checked in with her, she said it worked. I said, who knew? So I think that that's part of us tuning into body and health, both brain health and the rest of the body. But we got to know what it is, and I think that far more education needs to be done to educate women and everybody else about what perimenopause and menopause is. So it's great that you're here today to have this conversation with us.
So Amita, let's talk a little bit about some more of the work that you're doing. When we use the term Nourish Doc, tell us exactly what is that? Is that something that women can log on to, or what is Nourish Doc that you've created?
So we are actually releasing an app this week. The timing could not be more appropriate.
Perfect.
The universe somehow put all of us together.
Always.
Yeah. So the idea with this app is really two terms: perimenopause, postmenopause, as we are discussing. So really the app would teach women, awareness, as Dr. Durr just pointed out, make them aware of all the symptoms that a perimenopausal woman may face versus a postmenopausal, and what can she do? Simple things of changing her diet or movement, doing some yoga, doing some breathing exercises, actionable insights into a self-care, a first defense. No matter whether you're doing HRT or not HRT, you have to take care of yourself. So that's what Nourish Doc is all about, is taking care of all the holistic therapies, bringing them together at whatever evidence we have found, the research, bringing it all together and helping women take care of these actionable things using simple holistic therapies like diet, nutrition, exercise, yoga, breathing, essential oils, even CBT, talk therapy, counseling, all of the above.
I'm curious, does it go into, in simple terms, how these approaches work. So for instance, do we talk about, because another thing that happens too with both men and women, as you're aging, you're also losing at least a percentage of muscle mass every year, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
does it talk about how if you do resistance exercises,
Yes.
how that helps to build the muscle, and then how that helps, or how the exercise helps how exercise helps the brain health and helps you through those does it explain that?
Yes, absolutely. The app is actually a collection of 4,000 holistic experts around the world, including MDs. They have given snippets. So these are all bite-sized information from them. I am not a medical doctor. I've just put together this entire information.
Yeah.
And absolutely, it does talk about the resistance training, how exercise helps, how yoga, different postures help, all of the above. Yes.
Wow.
That's great.
We have to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to pick it up because it's a lot more information that Amita is going to share with our audience. And I tell you, whichever platform you're watching us on, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you got to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. I'll tell y'all, we are getting educated here. I mean, everybody, our audience, the women and men, because it's important. I believe, Doc, that, the man understand these problems just as well as the women.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, I think that a lot of great information is out there. And Amita, you had mentioned in the beginning of the show about kind of like how Black and Latino women are behind in care. Can you explain what you mean by that?
So I'm just going to share the research and the data. So average age of a menopause in American, well, generally worldwide is about 51, 52. And if you look at the data, Black women experience menopause about a couple of years earlier than an average age of 51, 52. That's number one. And then also the symptoms, they have recorded over 34 plus symptoms that are associated. That doesn't mean everyone's going to get 34 symptoms bombed at them. But we talked a little bit about how perimenopause can be 10 years. So Black women generally and Latino women, the symptoms are a bit more severe as compared to other ethnic groups. That's the other thing, like hot flashes as an example. They have more, they experience is more severe, and also the depression, the mental health, anxiety and depression is more prevalent amongst the Latino and Black women. The other thing is HRT, Dr. Durr would, talk more about it, which was, more easily accessible to women with better socioeconomic stature. It's probably not as available, BHRT, which we call bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, not as readily available to probably Latino women or Black women because of the socioeconomic status, right? So these are all the things. So there are multiple layers, the way I would frame it. First is, generally, most of the women don't understand perimenopause. I'm making a general statement. So that is there a gap. And then the majority of time, we're focusing more on the fertility part of a woman's life and not as much in the past, the mid-age, the perimenopause, menopause, not as much. And then the second part is now you come one layer down between the menopause world, the ethnic gap again between the ethnic groups. So there is a overall gap amongst all women, then you come down, and then there's more gap amongst the minority women. So there's a lot of work to be done.
Now, in terms of the workplace, you mentioned work, and
Yes.
Michelle asked a question about this earlier. Let's discuss the issues of mid-age women in the workplace, which also touches on menopause and related issues. What's your experience in terms of helping women mid-age deal with some of the pressures of perimenopause and menopause awareness in the workplace?
Yeah, because as I shared my story, that I had very embarrassing moments at workplace, and I was completely unaware that I was going through perimenopause. So the awareness is almost non-existent, right now at workplace. Focusing more on the fertility part of it, I don't hear that many women saying, "Oh, I have menopause wellness at my place," right? So these resources are not readily available. Yes, maybe a few companies, bigger companies, are beginning to make this accessible, like Microsoft, I heard, or NVIDIA, some of these companies. But on average, where these idea of awareness is non-existent, and women can go through all these embarrassing moments at work if they haven't had a sleep at night. The productivity is going to get impacted, right? If they are having hot flashes. So if you look at the data, a lot of women end up taking time off, or some of them even think of quitting or don't want to go up the ladder. I was one of them. Like, I had so many embarrassing moments. I was scared to go up the ladder because I said, what if I become like a director or a VP and I'm having all these strange sweats going on in my face, right? That it's not funny actually to think about it, but so this whole thing of that self-confidence and self-doubting starts happening if you don't know what you're going through, which we talked about earlier. So at workplace, the same thing gets impacted, whether you're at home or work. If you're not feeling good, it's going to show up, right, in your work.
So how are you educating men in the workplace to bring sensitivity to this issue?
Dr. Durr has, she wants to say something. I think she's on mute.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I said, besides a smack upside the head.
No, Amita, I'm curious, Amita, are
Yeah.
you focused? Is Nourish Doc helping
Yes.
bring that message to the workplace?
So we are partnering with benefits, insurance companies, employee benefits brokers, people like those who will help us take our message and help us scale to the women at workplace. That is what we are trying to do. Now, as far as the men, yes, absolutely. I have been interviewed by more men than women lately.
And here we
Because-
are.
they asked me the same question. They said, you know what, my partner is having some issues and I want to understand, I want to really support her, which is amazing. And one of the guy in fact told me, was suggesting, he said, why don't you go to high schools and tell them to start educating us.
There's no doubt that you need to bring this program literally all over the country into every community. This is very important. Now, let me shift gears and ask you a little bit about how Nourish Doc is tailoring its wellness programs to meet individual needs of women, because it's not just all the same. Everyone experiences these symptoms differently.
Yes. So we wanted to bring the affordability part, right? So the basics is self-care priced at less than $10 a month. I wanted to make it accessible to every woman in the world. And then the second step is doctors such as Dr. Durr and other professionals would come every week or every other week. They will, women have the ability to ask questions. And then the third tier is women who want personalized one-on-one, if they want to go on, bioidentical hormone therapy, or they want some kind of a plan, that would be the individualized option. So there are 3 tiers. The first tier, which is less than $10, is pretty good. Actually, it's not 100% like, okay, according to exactly your situation, like you have a Dutch test and that kind of a thing, but still it guides you. What is it that you can do on a higher level, changing your lifestyle? So that's how we are addressing the personalization and individualized situation as per the woman.
So, I mean, I wanted to ask a question too about that. You're talking in terms of the individualized approach. So, is nutrition a part of the individualized approach, or is nutrition a part of a different part of the platform? And then also, obviously, and you mentioned some of the stress management things that you all do, because obviously there's this disparity based upon, race and gender and ethnicity. You've already touched upon that. So what part of the platforms do those fall in?
So nutrition is definitely, food is medicine. That's number one. We can't do this holistic without nutrition. Movement, nutrition is very, very important. And then we're also drawing on some of the principles of Ayurveda daily practices, yoga, breathing, pranayama, what they call it, mindfulness, meditation, all these, and even talk therapy, CBT, hypnotherapy. So all these are coming into play. They are journal sessions as per the symptom. That's what we have, programs are designed like that. As per your symptoms, you can see how to do. As per the individualized and personalized, then if someone wants, okay, I want to exactly tell me based on I have 4 symptoms, give me, right? I mean, I had 3-4 symptoms. Typically, it's not one symptom that hits you. It's like 2-3 things that are happening all in one place, right? So then we say, okay, talk to someone like yourself. We make it available so that, doctor might say, okay, you might need HRT, or you might not need HRT, or you might need a herbal supplement as an example, or you might need this holistic plan, and that could be in collaboration with a dietitian and and a yoga therapist or someone like that, or a physiotherapist as an example. So that is the tiered approach, because that obviously we can't give that at $5 a MD. So we just tier it up. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and I just for clarity, I'm actually a board certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. But nutrition is very important to me, and I use some of the modalities that you spoke of. The yoga. Actually, I've used hypnosis, which for me has been very helpful. So that's great that you have that as part of the platform. So I just wanted to be clear about that. Because I'm a psychiatrist, I don't do HRT. But nutrition is definitely an important an important part of that, because we need to give the body what it needs to build, healthy cells so that they function healthily.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Amita,
so that's
are you-
specialized.
Amita, are you-
And we need to hold
Oh.
that thought, Doc, because we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. It's a lot of things that we're going to try to pack in the last 10 minutes of the show. So whichever platform that you're watching us on, you want to be part of the conversation, all you got to do, just go to the comments section of the platform, ask any question that you might have, or you can pick up the phone and call Todd at 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
There. Their current situation.
You know, we live in a world today that people don't even care about how people see them. Don't realize that we can affect an entire generation and build our character. But you gotta do it with these 4 C's.
Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's. In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you were created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's.
City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, the education that we all are receiving is needed, and it's a lot of things that Amita is talking about, and Dr. Durr and Dr. Mike, that I wasn't aware. That's why Dr. Mike asked, how are you going to educate the guys?
Right.
Yes, as well.
So Amita, I was curious. We're talking about holistic health, and we're talking about nutrition and nourishing sleep and exercise and friendship and not smoking and, lower the toxins. I wonder if your program is linking with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine that also discusses these very key things, and whether physicians, the general physicians, are able to embrace what you're talking about as an approach to helping women with perimenopause and menopause.
We haven't approached them yet, but I think that's an excellent idea.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Durr, I think your feedback, your comment?
Yeah, I think that would be, I think it would be a great idea, because of course, anytime that, again, I've already mentioned about the fact that even a lot of women don't know and understand what they're experiencing. And so anytime that I think you educate and inform people, what you do is you empower them to be able to take actions that creates the life experiences that they want. In this case, how do you what is this phase that I'm in right now, and how do I navigate that so that I'm able to feel happy, feel healthy, and to be very productive at my highest and best level.
Wow. You know, I got a couple of questions. Are there specific therapies and treatments like acupuncture, herbal medicine, nutritional counseling, yoga, all of those things that will help increase wellness in this situation?
Yeah, I think the awareness, like Dr. Michael said, should come from who are already empowered, like doctors in lifestyle medicine, benefit brokers and insurance, and all these therapies that we are talking about. These, especially the doctors who are involved in lifestyle medicine, already believe in it. What they call themselves integrative, right? Medicine doctors or lifestyle medicine doctors. They're already incorporating all these therapies in their practice, if I may say so. So I think what we have done is, what Nourish Doc has done is, we have gone all over the world and interviewed over 4,000 holistic experts, including the MDs, the counselors, and all of them, and put it in a bite-sized format that people can digest based on the symptoms, and put it in a way that people can understand rather than throwing darts all over the place, right? So,
and also, but I think to your point, also pulling it out of just where the experts are, right? Because when you remove it just from the experts and pull it to the community, then those are the folks who need the information most, right?
Yes.
Like you said, whether it's in the home or whether it's in the workplace, then you have a far more informed population, and they're, like you said, better able to navigate what they're experiencing and make the best possible outcomes.
Absolutely.
It doesn't help just for the four of us to have the conversation.
Yes.
Amita, I was very struck by the fact that you've spent a lot of your professional life working in technology and working with organizations, some very important, large organizations.
Yes.
And here you're taking that experience, that knowledge, that wisdom that you've gained, and you're bringing that method, technology, to create this pathway for women to connect and get this information. Can you talk a little bit about the app and the technology behind it and how people can get hold of this?
Well, like I said, for the last 2-3 years, all I have done is talk to holistic experts, who are in this space, like Dr. Durr, or like so many 4,000 of experts. So technology is not as important as the fact that what is it, the content we're bringing out to the women in this particular case, right? Content, the technology is just a vehicle. So we can put this properly in a digestible way. So the technology is just, we wanted to bring it affordable, make it very affordable. How do we do this? So that was why we thought, okay, let's put it in the app based on a woman's symptom at the stage where she is in. She will be able to go through systematically in a drip way or simple bite-sized content that she will get on a daily basis. A movement or a diet, or what is perimenopause? What should I look for? What kind of symptoms? So technology is really a vehicle right now, whether we use AI or we use machine learning. All these things I've done, but I'm just using that to really take the message across to women. And how do I do that? In my mind, I think it's important for me to find organizations who are ready to take this forward, and technologies we'll start bringing the best of the best technology. It would be a vehicle to take to help women. That's the really idea here.
I know in the fitness world, there's a movement now to connect fitness trainers, exercise professionals, with people who have obesity. specifically who are taking the GLP-1, those Ozempic and these types of medications. And they want to educate fitness trainers to work with that population. Wouldn't it be incredible if you could bring Nourish Doc to exercise professionals and encourage women with perimenopause and menopause to come to gyms, to come to community exercise programs, but teach these people how to work with this population and what specific exercises, yoga and so forth, would be of benefit. What do you think about that, Amita?
Excellent idea. This is excellent. You know,
let's do it.
Let's
Number two, another one. Let's do it.
You are on a roll today.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dr. Mantell has such a creative mind, doesn't he? Like with big ideas.
I know he's got amazing ideas. Let's do it.
I
Let's make a difference.
we need to do it. There, especially in the gym world, it helps them. It's a business.
Yes.
But I forget that. But mostly because we care about helping people, not the business. I think you're touching a population of minority women, of women who feel stigmatized, who don't understand these symptoms, of men who, like, we're scratching our heads like, what is this? What's this about? Are they talking about like erectile dysfunction or something?
A lot of men ask me, why aren't you doing that? I said, oh, let me focus this. Let me focus on this first.
Okay, we're down to the last 3 minutes of the show. I
just want to say this just really quickly. Although, of course, men have a change of life too. It's just for you all, it looks different.
Well, it looks different. It feels different. But go ahead. You have questions. Go ahead and ask.
You know, we're down to the last couple minutes of the show. But my question is, what kind of personalized assessments or consultation are provided to create customized wellness plan for women based on their unique health profiles?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about the tiered approach, and if a woman can, at a 200 or whatever the money is, there'll be a menopause coach who will do the assessment, and based on the assessment, that person will be given a team of experts. That could be a functional medicine OBGYN or endocrinologist or a naturopath and a dietitian, a movement person, or a pelvic health expert, depending on what she's having problems, right? Depends on so many things. So that would be an ultimate concierge service that women has access to if she wants to do HRT or BHRT. That of course we have that capability, but that is not offered at $5. The $5 is a self-care, right? So the idea was, okay, let's go to the basics. Perimenopause 101 for dummies, whatever you want to call it, which right? So let's make it here, and then slowly we take it up, and then we offer the concierge services to what you're talking about, the personalization, because each woman is different, and she's going to experience different symptoms, and also her lifestyle would be different. Her emotional quotient is different. So many things are different. Ethnic groups we talked about, that is different. All that combined, that's why we want to offer culturally sensitive programs. We want to understand the ethnic groups behind this whole space that we are talking about.
Wow. We're down to the last minute of the show. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share all of this valuable information with our audience. So thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Ballin right there. Thank you for popping in, showing up. Of course.
My pleasure.
My co-host right here. I mean, he's a world of knowledge. Dr. Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. But most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you what, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll see you tomorrow.
The James Cooley Show.
Have you heard about the latest tax hikes? They're about
Hey there.